very high-minded goal you've set for yourself.
Yes, it is
in
a high-minded goal.
Afghanistan.
But this goal for the future of Afghanistan is just a lot of hot air unless we solve the military problem first. Our Special Forces soldiers are going to take the high ground in key positions throughout Afghanistan before the snow thaws, allowing the enemy mobility.
And the military part has to come first. Why?
Because only after we've eradicated the enemy can we then get down to the true nuts and bolts work of keeping this new democracy breathing.
So it's basically kill people to help people.
No, no, that's not what I said. I said the enemy. Don't take that out of context.
Sorry, I was just trying to
what
boil
you're
it down. So in 2002, I remember you said something like the Taliban's back is forever broken, and then big applause.
Mission accomplished.
Right.
Writ small. Mistake.
Mistake.
Because we now know the enemy with broken backs can still crawl, and we also know that the enemy learned their lesson from that first backbreaking.
So you're taking for granted there's going to be a second backbreaking.
Would we be having this meeting if I didn't?
Is this how the rest of the hour is going to go, Janine?
I'm just asking questions. Senator, can you just give me one example of the enemy having learned a lesson?
They've woken up to the fact that we're fighting on two fronts.
Uh-huh. And history does tend to punish that kind of hubris, right?
So, we're launching this new strategy using the military as the opening punch. Now, taking the high ground is key. Whoever takes it owns the ability to observe, the prerogative to attack, and the opportunity to preside.
So, preside?
That's why the Romans built forts. You establish a constant presence, or you have constant violence.
So we're going to be there for good, like Romans?
I said constant, not permanent.
We have to have the same patience and determination as these insurgents, or they'll simply outlast us.
Now, this security allows us to build those schools and the clinics. It's
But
going to bring
where is
clean
NATO
water support.
in all this?
Good question. Where are they? We can't wait for them to decide when they might act, so we put this new strategy into motion now.
And why now? Why not a year ago? 2 years? 3 years?
Two reasons. First reason, the satellites and drones are not nearly as omniscient as they're marketed to be.
Anybody knows that. You just Google Predator or Global Hawk.
Second reason's ugly.
Ugly? What is that? Code for off the record?
For the time being, yeah.
Okay.
Iran.
Iran. What are they doing now?
Outside of building nuclear weapons, talking to North Korea, and telling Israel they don't know what a real Holocaust looks like. They're allowing Wahhabi insurgents to hike from Iraq to Afghanistan using the most direct route possible.
Across the countryside of Iran. Is that confirmed?
By their denials. Proof there truly is a new axis of evil.
Oh, wow. 1,300 years of murder between the Sunnis and Shias getting backburnered now so they can kill more Americans in more places. Are we still off the record? Because this is a story.
That's negotiable. You see what I'm saying? These radicals are uniting against us. And we need to remind the American people who their enemies are.
Okay, you have proof that they are uniting against us, or are you saying that there may be some potential at some point?
Don't underestimate how frightening development this is. Now, this is a significant threat to the security of our nation, and you can quote me on this. Now that Iran has nuclear potential, we simply cannot allow this to escalate.
When you say nuclear, it just sounds like the same kind of fear-mongering that led
Your
up
position affords you the luxury of that opinion. Mine does not.
It is my responsibility. It's part of my job description to protect the American people. And that is why we put this new strategy into motion now.
So when does it start?
10 minutes ago.
I just, it also sounds like Pentagonese for bait.
Janine, it's not like we're putting one or two guys on the mountain here. Right? But small is how we fight now.
Says the man in the air-conditioned room.
This is the fight that we're in. And unfortunately, civilizations do not sustain themselves through nonviolent response.
What does that mean? Are you going to now forego diplomacy and State Department treaties?
We were attacked. You do not respond to an attack with diplomacy. Bin Laden's idea of diplomacy is not filming the beheadings. Saddam violated 16 UN resolutions, and the UN responded by issuing 30-plus sternly worded statements condemning his behavior, all the while France, China, and Russia continued to trade with Saddam under the table.
And didn't we also arm Saddam in the 80s?
But here we are now.
Yes, here we are now. And don't you think it might be critical to examine how we got to this point?
How and why is not the issue now. We have to move forward. We're fighting a brand of evil. that thinks the last 1,300 years of human progress is heresy, punishable by violent death. Now, if that's something that you don't feel should be wiped from the face of
I would like to see bin Laden dead and gone as much as anybody, but I just don't understand how you cannot want to look at the past, not think it's critical.
What is critical, what is relevant, is the implementation of a new strategy that will win this war. A war we cannot lose.
But we're not winning it.
Yet. This new strategy can change that.
How about a strategy to bring the troops home?